everybody, Robert Tirick here from Wicked Clever, and if you're watching this video, you probably already know that we have a Kickstarter for our upcoming GM-less Cozy Cultist storytelling horror game called Our Woodland Gods. If you're watching the video while the Kickstarter is still running, which means before November 13th, 2023. If you're watching this video after the Kickstarter is already over, just checking the links to see how you can get it. This is a GM-less game. The players are going to take turns passing the book around and reading from the book, and it gives you the instructions, it gives you things to read out loud, it asks you questions, it tells you how to move tokens around on the table to track different things, it tells you when to write things in on the map, and it's a role-playing game, so you get to make choices as your character, you get to narrate your actions, you get to roll the dice for your tests, narrate the success or failures, and that's all on the players. There's nobody in charge of the game. There is a speaker of the lore. That's whoever physically is holding the book at the moment and reading from the book, and that passes around regularly. The book tells you, hey, turn to this page and pass it to the player on your right. They're the new speaker of the lore. So everybody gets a turn to read. You don't have to read. That's also built in there. If you don't like reading aloud to your friends, you can just keep passing the book on. But a big part of the game, and what allows it to be GM-less, is the deck of playing cards that determines all sorts of things in the game. When you go out looking for a god, it will determine the domain of the god at the location you are looking. When you go out later looking for gifts for that god, it will determine what kind of gifts you find and if those are suitable. Every time you move to a location in the game, you will draw a card, and we call it the deck of Eldritch Ways. You will draw a card from the deck of Eldritch Ways to see what horrible thing waits for you in that location. You'll also flip over cards to determine what the tasks are that your village needs done, the cozy tasks like collecting fireflies or making costumes for a parade or getting together wedding gifts or firewood for the bonfire. So the deck of cards is what powers a lot of this game. The players will roll dice to do their tests, but you can draw a card from the deck to get a bonus dice to roll. And those are called mandates, and they'll tell you what you have to do. So during a lot of the game, you'll be drawing cards, and you'll be checking the charts in the back of the book to reference what those cards do in that case. And you can absolutely 100% play this game with a regular deck of poker cards. That's how I designed it. We played with regular poker cards. But my playtesters really wanted to have a reminder. They wanted to see a visual representation of the runes, the 13 runes used in the game, and have a way for them to stay on the table. Well, it makes sense. We just put those runes on the poker cards. So hired an artist, Marianne Rose Papke, to do the concept art for these runes, and we made sure that we weren't stealing runes from other cultures or other religions. These are brand new designs, and checked many dictionaries of symbols and signs and alchemy and old language, just to make sure that we didn't inadvertently steal a rune from somebody. And there was one rune that was designed that was very close to a Siberian shamanic rune for death, and it wasn't even going to be the death rune in the game, but we decided that was a little too close and redesigned it to be something else. So all original runes designed for this game, made by Marianne, and we put them on playing cards, right? And I have the printer's proof of the first deck of those playing cards here. Whenever we print something, we get a printed printer's proof. For books, that actually doesn't come bound. It comes in big flat sheets of paper that they overnight from FedEx. And I got to go through page by page by page. The cards at least come in a little box, right? This is actually, if I said yes and I said these were good, this would be the actual box. I mean, this is my box, but you would get this exact same thing. We're gonna make a couple of changes, some minor changes, but that's why we do the printer proof. So they come in this tuck box, right? It's got our Dear Cultist. It says Our Woodland Gods on there. Deck of Eldritch Ways across the top, so you know what it is. On the back, it's got some text explaining what these are. If somebody picks them up at a convention table, it's like, well, I don't know what these are. It'll tell you on the back. It shows you a little sample. It gives credit to Momo, Marianne, and Melissa Robb. On the bottom there, Melissa Robb is the artist that did the interior art. She created this wonderful our logo here, Dear Cultist, that you see everywhere. So her art is in there on the Jokers. So the deck box uses no glue. All right. These are not printed by the Bicycle Company. If we did that, they are printed in the United States. They're just not printed by Bicycle. If we get enough orders on these to do a print run with Bicycle, we're going to look into it. And that would change some things about the deck box. But right now they are in this. It's actually really nifty. It's like a origami style box that it's just the way they fold the cardboard and cut it. So it all goes together. And it's not going to fall apart. I mean, it feels like a box. I mean, it is a box. All right, and inside, boom. I've already shuffled these, but we've got the cards, and you can kind of see there how some of the folding goes into it. I haven't actually opened this all the way up. We'll do it on camera for you. I hope I don't like rip it. There's got to be an easy way to pull this. There might not be an easy way. I mean, it's really put together. I've seen somebody open their box before, so I know it can be done. Yeah. So. There, see, it just kind of all folds together. I don't recommend you do this. Like, there's nothing exciting or hidden on the inside. There's some printer's codes, but that's how it goes together. That's kind of cool, right? All right, putting the box away. So we've got the cards, and you really can't see it in the camera here, but these are poker style cards. We are using the premium embossed stock. So unlike Magic the Gathering cards, which have that really cardboardy feel to them, thin cardboard, they're gonna, I mean, Magic the Gathering cards, you sleeve them because they show a lot of wear and tear over play, bent corners, everything. These are actually on a premium embossed stock. They don't feel like Magic cards, folks. They feel like poker cards because they are. They've got this silkiness to them. And the way they do that, you're not going to see it on the camera. I know you're not. But there's these little raised bumps all through the gloss on the card. And that gives you some texture to hold onto them easier. And it makes them so much easier to shuffle. They just like slide across each other so easily. It's really nice. I was impressed when I saw these. And I collect playing cards. Believe it or not, I make a lot of role-playing games that use cards, and people give me cool playing cards as gifts, and I have started collecting playing cards. Let's see. I don't think we can get it. Now, see, I can see it just fine, but let's see if we can get the light to even show the sheen that's on there. It'll show it on the back better, probably, because that's dark. Yeah, anyway. All right, so playing cards, they shuffle great. Got that snap to them. And on each of these playing cards, one, they can absolutely be used as regular poker cards. This is the 5 of spades, all right? And if you're just using it for a regular game, you just ignore everything else on the card. It's the 5 of spades, right? That's the 10 of diamonds. That's the 4 of hearts, upside down. But it's the 4 of hearts. The king of clubs. So, again, upside down. How did half my... Because I shuffled them. That's how half my deck got upside down. But... You can use them as regular playing cards. So, and you can use regular playing cards for this game. But the extra thing these cards have is they have Marianne's runic design in the center there. We tell you the word of what this is the rune for fire. And so when you draw this card, you may not have to say, oh, 5 of spades. Check my character sheet, see what that rune is. Okay, that's the fire rune. Check the chart in the back of the book. What does fire mean we have to do here? You may just remember that, oh, fire means we have to collect firewood for the bonfire to roast marshmallows tonight. And when you draw those tasks, these cards sit on the table. So anybody looking at them can look back and say, oh yeah, we got to do the fire rune for this, which was collecting firewood, or the I'm going to see if I can remember, the beast rune, all right? Which is make costumes for a parade of animals. So if those are on the table and you look, oh, we got to do fire and beast, what were those? We can remember instead of having to pause, flip to the back of the book and look them up. So that's why the runes are on there, to give you a reminder and a sort of thematic touch to the game. The other things that are less obvious on these cards are the related runes. So there's a group of related runes all through the game. Fire also goes with the rune for blood and beast, right? And those are sort of ghosted in the background there as a design element, and also underneath the suit right down there, so you can see them. And you'll notice, since I didn't mean to do this on purpose, but you'll notice the beast card has that fire rune floating there at the top in the back, right? You kind of see that. I should just superimpose those, but I'm not going to do a whole lot of editing on this video. You're going to get it raw and uncut. Although this is like the 4th time I've tried to do the video today. So those are the cards. They are absolutely not needed to play the game. You can play the game with any deck of poker cards, but they do add a lot to them, and they are a nice deck of cards. There's a couple of things that we are going to fix on the cards. One, and I don't know that you can see this, but it bugs me. So there are some black flecks in the background of the cards. And I was like, I don't know where that came from. They must have had bugs on the printing screen or something. No, the paper texture that I use had very subtle black flecks in it that I didn't notice, but the printer absolutely notices them in the PDF and pulls those out. And because the printing always comes out darker than what you see on your screen, there's no light shining from behind it, obviously, that sort of softens it all up. Those to me pop. Like, I see the black specks. And if it was black specks in different spots on every card, I wouldn't matter so much to me. But because they're in the exact same spot on every card, it's clearly an error, and it's an error that I'm gonna fix. And the other thing that we're going to work on is the text on the back is not quite centered. Now, that's a folding thing. There's a variance here on where they fold it. And I have checked other card decks from this company before I went with them. They are printed in the United States. And that's actually why I decided to go ahead and give it a try, because I saw how cool other people's cards were from this. And everybody's actually that I've noticed that tried to center that text in the middle, it always comes a little far over on this side. So my only solution there, I think, is to try and squeeze in a little bit more margin there so it's not as noticeable. It's not bad. You can still read it. Nothing's crossing the line, but it bugs me a little bit. So I'm going to work on changing that. I'm going to fix those black specks. But there you have them, the cards. This is a actual poker deck. Let me show you. It does have the jokers in there. They were very easy to find, and of course now they're going to be much deeper in the deck. So we do have the jokers in there. You can... And in the game, you will actually pull these jokers out. You don't draw the jokers, but you can use them on the table as marker cards to put tokens on and track things. So that's the cards. I told you I'd show them off. I didn't really plan on doing a video, but I did the video for you so you can actually see them. Thank you so much, folks who have backed the Kickstarter so far, who are sharing. And we got cool cards. So thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day.